All right, welcome back to an NBA Friday Night Recap with your host, Ted. He is I, and I am him. Been some good games this Friday. Can't even lie. No cap, as they say. I mean, it was some a few nail biters, a few blowouts, but overall, it was some good, entertaining games. No more, no less. Let me start off by saying, first game of the night that I'm gonna talk about is the Detroit versus the Pacers. Final score was 111-106. Detroit pulled it out at the end. And like I said, they've been playing hot basketball since the All Star break. They are, from the last 7 games, 5-2, winners of the last 5 out of 7 contests, which is not bad in the right time of the season to gain confidence. You know, the Pistons not a playoff team, but they're a young rebuilding team. And the more wins they get on their belt, especially winning streaks, the more confidence the team gain and the more deadly the team will become in the future. Let me just go ahead and give you the stats from the game last night, or early from the night, rather. Bay, again, had a great game, 25 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. Stewart chipped in with 8 points, 13 rebounds. Grant had a solid game, 8 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. Okay, Cunningham, candidate for Rookie of the Year, chipped in for 20 points, 9 rebounds. Totally impressed with that. 3 assists. And off the bench, you had newly acquired Marvin Bagley III with 18 and 8 rebounds, shy of a double double. And Livers, gets his feet wet, played a short amount of minutes, but he chipped in for 5 points, 1 of 2 from 3 point line. And overall, the Pistons played a solid game. I like the new look Pacers as well. A whole new team since the trade. That backcourt with Brogdon and Halliburton is going to be scary in the future to come once they finally get chemistry and gel with each other. Brogdon had 26 points. Halliburton only had 8 and 7, but he chipped in with 8 rebounds and had a highlight real dunk on Killian Hayes. Wow. That's all I can say. And I like seeing what I seen from Jackson and Brissett. Isaiah Jackson had 12 and 10 double double. Brissett had 10 points. And like I said, my first time seeing them guys play. So I was impressed. They're pretty solid pieces. And Buddy Hyde had a great game for the most part. He struggled from 3 points tonight, 1 of 10, but he tipped in at 16, 7 assists, excuse me, 16 points, 7 rebounds, and 9 assists. This side was triple double himself. And off the bench, Smith had a double double with 12 points, 11 rebounds. Washington chipped in with 16. So they had an overall good game, but just fell short against the Pistons. Like I said, who are now 5-2 since the All Star break. Look out for this team down the stretch in this last month as they, lottery pick team, but again, they're gaining chemistry and setting the momentum for next season with strong wins continually, hopefully. I'm not a player, I'm just a fan that's spectating the game. Hopefully, they carry momentum. We will see. Moving along, next game, as I predicted, was the Cavaliers falling short to the Sixers. Final score was 125 to 119. It was a good game back and forth for the most part. I mean, you got your money's worth. Like two heavyweights going back and forth in the ring. But at the end, 76ers continue their hot streak since that trade. They're now 4-0 with James Harden in the lineup. And for the most part, James Harden had a great game. Chipped in for a double double. He had 25 and 11 assists, go along with 3 rebounds, 2 of 4 from 3 point line, looking like the old former James Harden. And also, Embiid had a good game with 22 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, just short of a double double. But Maxey had a game of games tonight. He had 33 points, 5 from 6 from 3 pointers. He was smoking hot tonight. And Tobias Harris, that is, he's been the unsung hero all year long for the Sixers. He had 15 points himself. And off the bench, you had Milton, who had 11 points, 2 for 3 for 3 pointers, and Nyan, who had 17 points, shot from 5 from 8 from 3 point line as well. So the Sixers pulled it out again to go 4-0 since they acquired James Harden from the Brooklyn Nets for Ben Simmons. And again, the Cavaliers put up a good fight. They had a tremendous game from Garland, who had 26 points and 19 assists, almost in the 2020 club. Also had 20 from Allen and 7 rebounds and 22 from Okoro. So three guys off the team had 20 points or more. It's impressive. The rookie Mosley had 7 points, 4 rebounds, 2 blocks. And off the bench, Osman had 20 points, and Kevin Love had 11, 3 from 7 from 3 point line. But just felt a little short today against the 76ers, who was at home. And get them better luck next time. Again, final score of 125, 119. Next game is Atlanta versus the Wizards of Washington. As predicted in the first video that I gave to you guys know at the introduction, I called this. I said it's going to be a close game down to the wire. I had Atlanta winning by 3, and sure enough, they won by 3. Final score was 117, 114. Great game from both teams. Trey Young led the Hawks with 25 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds. Capella had a solid game with a double double himself with 12 and 12. Gardnari had 10 points, 2 from 5 for 3 pointers. And Hunter had 26 points, 3 from 5 from shooting 3 point shooting as well. John Collins had 9 points, 6 rebounds. And Bogdanovich had 17 points, 3 from 8 from 3 point line itself. Which is a good stat line for the Hawks. Wizards unfortunately fell short, but Kyle Kuzma had a great game. He had 22 points, 11 assists, 5 rebounds. KCP shots lights out from the gym tonight. He had 28 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and was a whopping 6 from 6 from 3 point line. He's on fire. Overall, he was 10 for 12 in 30 minutes. Not bad. Off the bench, Thomas Bryant had 12 points, and Hawk Moore had 19 with 6 rebounds to go along with that, and also shot 3 for 4 from the 3 point line. Impressive, indeed, indeed. Moving right along, the next game featured is the Milwaukee Bucks in Chicago, which is a rivalry game. But unfortunately, the Bulls fell short at home to the Bucks. Score was 118 to 112. Bucks winning by 6. Giannis led all scorers with 34 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists. Chris Middleton had 22 points with 7 assists, 6 rebounds. Bobby Portis had 12 points, 7 rebounds. Drew Holiday, the point guard that I couldn't remember earlier, had 26 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists himself. And the villain that the Bulls, Chicago fans hate the most, Allen had 7 points, 4 rebounds. And off the bench, Carter had 8 points and Wesley Matthews had 7. For the starters with Chicago Bulls, the MVP chance for DeMar DeRozan grew louder and louder as he added 29 points to his score, shot 2 for 3 from the 3 point line. And Zach LaVine had an excellent game himself. He had 30 points with 6 assists, 8 rebounds. Nikola had 19 points, 9 rebounds. Himself was a solid performance. And off the bench, they had 9 points from Green, 5 for Jones, and 5 for Brown. But in the end, it just felt a little short to the Bucks. But I think if these two teams meet in the playoffs, it's going to be a great series. It's going to be down to the wire, being that it's a rivalry game. And I also want to see how the two teams finish at the end. So who's going to win the Central Division Conference? Milwaukee is the champs. Maybe they can repeat. Time will tell. All right, next game is the Orlando Magic versus Toronto. This was a game that I predicted Toronto was going to win, but I was wrong. Orlando pulled it out 103-97. A leading scorer of the game was Cole Anthony. No, well, he was the leading scorer for the Orlando Magic. Cole Anthony was the leading scorer. He had 15 points. Siakam had 34 points himself. Lead rebounder. This is why I was shocked. It's Cole Anthony. He led the Magic in points and rebounds today. He had 12 rebounds to go with 15 points. And assists, excuse me, Siakam had 14 for Toronto. So 34 and 14 for Siakam, 15 and 12 for Cole Anthony, who both had double doubles. Jalen Suggs had 7 assists. Matt Flynn had 8 assists for Toronto. And again, Toronto surprised me by beating the Raptors by 6 at Toronto. All the starters for Orlando had double figures. That was solid. Wagner had 11. Bamba had 14. And again, Cole had 15. Jalen had 15. Kiki had 10. And for the Raptors, again, Siakam had 34 and 14. Barnes had 10 and 5. Flynn added 20. As far as the bench, Cole only had 11. And again, they fell short at Toronto back-to-back nights, losing to Detroit prior to losing to Orlando. So you pretty much said Toronto lost to two bad teams in the Eastern Conference back-to-back nights at home. Who would have thought? But anything is possible in the NBA. So right now, I'm 3-2 in my predictions. Won the first three with no problem. Then I lost the last two of my predictions. But hey, we still got three more left. Let's see how I fare out. Next game is the Utah Jazz versus the New Orleans Pelicans. Final score was 124 to 90. And I predicted that the Pelicans was gonna win, but I didn't think they were gonna blow out the Jazz, being the Jazz a solid team coming out the West. But they just fell short. Leading scorer for the Jazz was Donovan Mitchell. He had 14. Up next was Whiteside, who chipped in for 13. House had 11. Clarkson had 10. And Gobert had 10. But this wasn't enough for the hot shooting Pelicans, who leading scorer was Brandon Ingram, who had 29 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. And next up was C.J. McCollum, who's been averaging 26.6 per game since the trade happened. Tonight he had 24 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 of 6 from three-point line. Off the bench, you had contributions from Tony Snell, who had 11. Marshall had 10. And Hermanga had 13. But Jose Aurora had 7 points. He's a spark plug energy player that, remind me of Pat Barnes, how they exist ball hawk defenders, and they just press speed on every play. And again, the final score of 124 to 90. New Orleans beat the old New Orleans team in a blowout with Zion. Without Zion, just imagine they had Zion to the equation, man. If he still want to play with them, but they'd be a scarier team with those three: Ingram, McCullough, and Zion in the picture. But we'll see. All right, next game up is the following here. We have here Minnesota beating OKC as predicted, 138-101. Overall, Minnesota's had too much firepower for the Thunder right now. Towns had 20 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. McDaniels had 16. Russell had 17. Pat Bev starting for Edwards had 7 and 8 assists, respectfully. Solid performance. Off the bench, Prince had 18. Reed had 20 and 15 for Beasley. It was just too much for the Thunder, who leading scorer was Alexander with 33 points. Next up was Roby with 21, 15 for Man, and the big fella in the middle had 12. And off the bench, Madon had 8, Scar had 5, and Waters had 5. But it was just not enough to overtake the Minnesota Timberwolves. Better luck next time, Chuck. All right, next game up is the Rockets versus the Nuggets. Looked like it was 2018 again because Boogie dropped 31 points on his old team, the Rockets, who said he was too old and looking for the future. Jokes on them. As Boogie had 31 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block, 3 out of 4 shooting from the three-point line. 10 out of 14 overall in just 24 minutes. Guess who's back? Boogie's back. Back again. Back again. But real talk, congratulations. Last time he had over 30 points was in 2018. Knowing Mike Malone's system, be reunited with him, has helped his confidence, helped him be a contributor to that young Nuggets team who's deep out in that West Conference. As again, Denver starting five had all double figures. They had 10 from Morris, again 31 from Cousins. Barton had 11. Gordon had 12. Green had 14. And off the bench, Green scored 14. And Highland had 11. They just had their way with the Rockets today, who was a young team. I think their leading scorer was Christian Woods, who was just undermatched for Boogie. Had nothing for him, but he had a double double, put up 22 points, 10 rebounds. Tate had 10 with 6 rebounds. Gordon had 11. Porter had 9, and Green had 18. Kenyon Martin Jr. had 9 with 4 rebounds. Sangon had 11, but overall, just not enough to take the Nuggets. Next game is the nail biter. Wow. Phoenix Suns versus the New York Knicks. Came down to the wire. 1 point victory for the Suns. Game winning shot was by Johnson, who had 38 points, 9 for 12 from the 3 point line, 7 out of 8 from the free throws, and 28 minutes. He got into it with Randall. Randall got ejected, a little pushing match, so I guess that lit a flame under his feet. But Randall led the scores for the Knicks with 25. He had 25, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Next up was Barrett, who had 20 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. Fortier had 16 points. Burks had 16. Robinson had a double double of 17 and 15, but it was just overmatched for the Phoenix Suns, who was who was out without Chris Paul and Devin Booker. But again, leading the way was Johnson with 38. Then you had Bridges with 20, Payne with 17, Carter with 14, Ayton with 8, and Sharper had 6. That was enough for them to get the W against the New York Knicks. Final score once again was 115 to 114 in the crucial nail biter down to the wire. But overall, I was glad to see great NBA games played by the teams tonight. Looking forward to the tomorrow games as well. And around the corner, to let you know, I will be talking about college basketball with March Madness coming in a few weeks. You know, get your brackets ready. I know every year I have my heartbreak because, in college basketball, anybody can get beaten any given day. And also, this could be a special year for Coach K. This is last season coaching college basketball. Coach K's been coaching for ever since can remember. Legendary coach. Coach a lot of great players that came out of Duke. Olympic gold ridden coach. Making his final rounds in the ACC tournament coming up soon, and this be his final NCAA tournament. Almost 40 years. If I think it's 40 years, over 40 years, but a long career. Kudos to him and his family as they just get ready for the next stage of life. He left a legacy behind, definitely at Chapel Hill. Excuse me, not Chapel Hill, wrong team. Sorry, down in Duke land. You know, he definitely trailed his own path. Looking forward to discuss that with y'all, and also as the regular season winding down for the NBA playoffs, will be here in another month or so. It's gonna be interesting, starting right after college basketball, the NBA playoffs. You have March Madness, then you have the playoffs. Oh man, it's a nice one too. To get us through the spring/summer. And then you have the free agent signings starting off in a couple of days in the NFL. So you see the free agents, then you get the draft come. So it's gonna be a nice few months coming up with sports. A lot to talk about. And hopefully, we wish upon a star, we get the baseball season starting. As of right now, it's gonna be the 8th of April, hopefully. they can come to agreement and we see America's favorite pastime on TV. So I can give me more to talk about. And also with hockey, they winding down to the playoffs. Stanley Cup will be interesting this year. So we're gonna tap into hockey, talking about that. And also whatever challenging. 'Cause like I said, I love sports, so anything with competition will be brought up. So keep posted. Go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button as you listen to Sell Mount Ted talk about sports. No more, no less. Looking forward to grow the platform. Looking forward to my future live chat sessions with you all, so I can go ahead and have that great interaction. And we're gonna talk about sports and our opinion. No more, no less. And have a good time. Nothing but positivity here. Go ahead and enjoy yourself as we talk about things in the wonderful world of sports. All right. Thank you for listening. More content coming soon as I'm just getting started. Yeah, I might be a rookie to YouTube, but I've been doing this for a long time. Now it's time for me to do it behind the big screen on one mic. All right. I go by the name of Selma Ted. Peace, love, and happiness. Until next time, Selma Ted. And I'm out.